Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.
Hey everyone, Kenny Tony coming at you today with this quick video. YFZ 450 roller behind us, pretty much stripped down to the bare minimal. Today what we're going to do is do our best to see if we can get the motor mounted up and mocked up. Maybe not a complete mount, but we're going to get it in the frame, see what we need to do to the rear swing arm. And I want to try to talk to you all through what I've done or what I'm going to do to get this to work. Of course, YouTube professionals and professionals, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong or something else that you think that I should do differently. All right, let's get this camera flipped around, get it pushed into my shed, and get the motor in there. All right, so we're in here, sitting. Got the heat on, gonna let it warm up a little bit. Still see my breath. Pretty cold out here today. Winter project. Don't have any kind of fancy shop, but we're gonna see what we can get done with this today. First thing we're going to do is take the swing arm bolt out, see if it fits through the bushing and the shaft going in the back of the WR engine. And it does.
Did not cancel the debt. I'm making you pay. I didn't forgive.
So I'm going to get the grinder out and cut out these lower motor mounts right here and see if it's going to help me get the motor in there a little bit better. So here we are, we have the swing arm bolt going through. As far as measurements go and just eyeballing it, doesn't really look like I'm going to have to take off much of anything. Chain isn't going to be lined up, but that's understandable. We'll get a custom sprocket made for that. So yeah, let's I'm thinking I'm going to just shave these little washers flat and see how much better my fitment is going to be with that. I'll get this back on here. So here we are. Here's what we have done. So I've used my grinder and kind of smooth some of the edges off till it has a good snug fit. The bearings stuck out, I would say about 1/8 too long, so I filed those down a little bit as well. So they stick out past, you can barely see it, but they stick out past the frame, so it's not this rubbing against that. That's where you see the gap in between those two. So now that we have this as a good solid pivot point, it's going to allow me to level my motor to where I want it to be in this aspect and make rest of my mounts. I think we're going to try to get the top mount done next. Then we'll figure out the bottom and the front. This is moving along well. So if any of you all have any questions as far as thus far, let me know. The kickstart will go onto the side. I'm not really sure if it's going to clear or not. I might have to put an extender on. So let's see if I can grab the kickstart real quick. So here's the kickstart. Let's see, it'll fit Yeah, it might clear. We'll see. We'll see once we get it all in there if that's going to clear, and I think it might. Still might put an extension on it. We'll see. So, let's get the next mount done. So here we are. Wrench up top, 450 motors in, as we've already talked about how the rear is, and I got my ground on here for my welder. But the top mount seemed to have worked well from the 450. So the original OEM top mount, I mean, once I get it all screwed down and everything, it pulls it up enough and it's snug, no gap in between it or anything. I just haven't gotten the other side right there tight. But down here, I've gone ahead and just tack welded the original mounts back on, so they're going to be in place. And then I just got to redo these. I was trying to see if I can use these ones. Maybe if I can take the bend out of them a little bit and get them to stretch over, I should be able to get them on. If not, I'll just custom make me some new front ones. Yeah, that'd probably be my best bet. Since I don't have a metal bender, I'm going to just kind of crease the metal and then do some welding. But I'll see what I can do with these to get these to work. But hopefully, get this whole thing in here. All right, everyone, so here we are in the middle of this video. Motor's back out. So I know we're going through putting the motor mounts and everything in. But halfway through the video, I was making it and I was telling my boy Sean Moore, check out his channel. Here's a little picture of what it looks like, and I'm going to see if I can post a link to it down here in the description. I was telling him about what I was doing and how I was getting it mounted up, because I've been kind of getting some information to him about his YFZ 250F that he's built for his daughter. But he asked me about the rear spacer that I have in the swing arm, because his has some play in it. So I sent him some specs, and he made this right here for me. What this is going to do is be as far as like a bushing. It's going to slide over top of the swing arm bolt, and it's going to slide inside of the rear of the motor to remove any kind of play. If it all lines up and works well, this is going to be great for us, and this is what we're going to need. It's going to get our motor nice and squared up in the back. Once again, Sean Moore is the guy. Big shout out to him. If it wasn't for him throughout this, I wouldn't be able to get as far as I have been. But we're going to see if this sleeve fits in the back, and hopefully the best. So here's the sleeve and the swing arm bolt. I did hit with a little bit of sandpaper to clean up this front half just to see how it's going to fit through there. All right, nice snug fit. It'll go. Got some subtle twist to it, but yeah, that's going to work perfect. Thanks again, Sean. So we're going to get this in to the back of the motor, get the back of the motor squared up in there. So the sleeve fits right in between these two bushings, but right into the motor. So enough explaining, more doing. Put a little grease on it, see if we can get this in there a little better. So now we have the back swing arm in there. Squares it up really nicely. We're going to lift it up, get it in place up here with the top bolts. squared up a lot better than what it was without that. Let's make sure the front two still mount up correctly. So here we go. It's all in there. All these are the original mounts. So this is the original mount off of the YFZ 450. I just put it on to the WR 450. The rear mount did not fit, so as I stated in the video, I had to do a little trimming to the sides to get it in the middle, and then I had that custom spacer made. These are the front mounts from the 450. Little persuasion and bending. I kind of took some of the bend out of them, made them a little bit more straight as the bend went out, but they fit in here fine. And we're going to get these lower ones mocked up and see if we can get them welded in here soon. Right, so we're here. So here we are with a couple pieces that I fabbed up to go underneath to make the lower motor mounts. Sorry for the lack of stability, but I'm just trying to show you all what I plan on doing. So these parts here, pretty thick, are made. They're just going to go in, basically hold it square in there. I'm going to put the washer on the back side, screw them all down, and that's going to give me a little bit of clearance to be able to get the motor in and out really easier. But I'm going to get it all cranked in there and see what it's going to look like at the end. So here are the two mounts. One's going to be here. The other one's going to be, as you see over there. The washers are just in there, as I said, for just a little bit of space so I can have no problem getting the motor in and out. And after a good weld, they will just tweak just a smidget to be able to close.
This is the